as lot of we are working with the command line involves text file or text output, it's important to have a few tools in your toolkit to check out the content of text files. The first one I want to introduce you is called cat command, which we have seen before, and it's short for concatenate. To concatenate means to stick two or more things together, and cat can do that, but it's often used just to print the content of a file to the screen. It's also helpful to get the content of a text file into a series of piped commands. Depending on the operating system you are using, you will have different files available to you. Normally, we use cat to look at a long log file or something like that, but here I will use some classic because I want you to be able to follow along with me exactly and not get tied up in differences between Linux distribution at this point. To just list out the content of a file, I will write cat followed by the name of the file. In this case, poems.txt, then I will press enter because that file is longer than our screen. We can't see the output of it, and at once in the terminal window, sure, we can scroll back up, but there's some better way of working with the output. The head and tail commands let us see a limited number of lines from the beginning or end of a file. They work just like cat does. I will write head poems.txt and I can see the first 10 lines of the text. The same goes for tail. I will write tail poems.txt and I can see the last 10 lines of the file. Now clear the screen. I can pass the -n option to head or tail to tell it how many lines to show me. For example, I will write head -n5 poems.txt and that shows me the first 5 lines. Tail -n3 shows me the last 3 lines. Combining these with the cat command can make for some good practice using pipes. You can get a good sense of how the order of commands affect the output. For example, I will write cat space poems.txt piped to cat -n with the cat command. The -n option number all the lines of text. Let's take a look at that. I will recall the command with the up arrow and I will put in another pipe and send that to tail -n5. We see the originally file has been piped into the cat -n command which numbered it, then tail showed us the last 5 lines of that. I will write that line, but I will reverse the last 2 commands. I will write cat space poems.txt piped to tail -n5 piped to cat -n. Now it's clear that the file was piped into tail first, which presented the last 5 lines. Then those lines were numbered by cat -n. That's pretty basic example, but it's important to keep in mind that order matter with pipes. I will clear the screen again. There's another command that's useful for looking at longer text file and it's called less. You can use it by itself with the file name or you can pipe output to it. Less takes text input and present it page by page or screen by screen and gives you some controls to move around within the text. I will type less space poem.txt and I see the text with a little bit of an interface around it. I can scroll up and down with the arrow keys go down at line at a time with enter, or go down a screen full at a time with spacebar. I can navigate forward and backward with the F and B keys. These are the same commands we used earlier to move around in the manual pages. You can press H to see the help for less. If you like to learn some more of the command available, or you can press Q to quit. Looking at the contents of the text file is an important skill to get comfortable with when you are working at the command line environment.